What is up, guys? Day number 20 of the speed run. It's time to go. It's time to get things done. It's time to make a mark on this universe and show the people that the bird is not a joke. Okay, here actually I played the wrong thing. I'm supposed to play d4 here and try to steamroll him with d5. In the end, he's bamboozled us into a slightly inferior version of a king's gambit. Here I really like playing c3 and d4. I'm not 100% certain it's correct, but it looks really interesting. I'm just gonna go for it. It might work, it might not. There's a really classic idea here. If they play knight f6, you play d4, and if they take, what is that move? I've never seen that move before in my life. Get me the chief of police. Get me Kramnik. All right, let's put the, let me just put the bishop on b5. I just gotta get out of the way to castle. Let's go. Is he gonna castle queenside? Takes, okay, d4. Hopefully he takes here and we can end the game. And yeah, that's the end of it. That's the end of the show. All right, queen, let's play queen a4. I do not know what he's doing here. Knight a5. Someone let this guy out of the 400 arena, because this guy is playing like a 400. No offense. His moves are not making that much sense, though. They're making me dollars, though. But no sense. Yeah, his knight is in a lot of trouble here. I don't know what the plan is for him. Well, if he goes there, I just move my bishop back, and now the joke's on him. His knight is dead. His knight is a dead piece. Like, he's made several moves, and it's just made his position worse. He has to play b6. I could play b4 here. b4, should I throw in b4 or not? I guess there's no need actually yet. I'll just take on f4. b4 would push his knight to another irrelevant square. Okay, he's dropping pieces. This guy got completely flummoxed by the bird. He just had no idea how to deal with it. Okay, yeah, he's dead lost here. It's time to go. It's really time to go, buddy. Buddy, it's time to go. We gotta go. Nice, okay, here we go. 902, people, we're up to 902. We're getting things going, we're making progress. So d4, let's play f5, the classic Dutch. Bishop f4, knight f6, g6. Of course, I'm going for a Leningrad. The really nice thing about the speedrun is that I don't have to deal with any h4, h5 funny business. Like, just no one at these levels knows that that's even an ideal in the Dutch structures. So that's nice. Here, okay, I gotta eventually push e5 through. Let's put the queen on e8. Very classic way to handle things. Knight g5, I do not know what that's about. Should I start with h6 or e5 immediately? Let me play h6 first. I want to kick the knight out. Oh, he's going for the fishing pole. We got a fishing pole guy. I'm going to throw in e5. Bishop c4. Bishop c4 is a cheeky move. He has to go for it now. If he lets me take, then I'm going to park my knight on d5, and I think I'll be fine there. I'll be able to shield the threats. Knight d5 will happen, he'll play bishop c4, and then I can respond with bishop e6, securing the d5 square. Queen b3. I'm dropping my king over to h8 though. He plays bishop g3, I push f4. Knight f7, okay, at first I thought I miscalculated, but now I'm realizing he just miscalculated. He did not count the amount of pieces. My rook just got developed for free there. Rook e7. I'm about to play f4 and blow open this e-file like a cannon. There we go, f4. Beautiful move. Takes with a check, and he is losing. He has to play bishop h2, then we're just gonna play knight g4, or he's just gonna give me another piece. Let's play e4 here. Lock in the knight out. Knight is not gonna be able to do anything. Knight is just completely blunted in on that terrible square on d2, blocking the rook. Also, my bishop is about to breathe fire on this diagonal. So this is a really great Leningrad game. I really, really, really love the Leningrad. Really love it. One of my favorites. One of my favorites, if not my favorite. People have been asking if I should do a course on the Leningrad. Unfortunately, though, there's just there's way too many courses already out there on it, like especially on Chessable. I think there are like 5 courses. All right, so we got the queen. We're up to 9-10. Playing Moda Zahari. That's cool. It's got a big car. Got a big red car.
Well, we're waiting.
All right, so that was a nice game. Can I get some rating, chess.com? No rating for your boy? Come on, chess.com. I worked hard that game. I earned that result with blood, sweat, and a minute of tears. Okay, g6, put the bishop on g7. Classic Leningrad. Guys, the speedrun is literally going to take forever. What is it? It's getting close to day 20 now. It is. This video is actually day 20. What am I talking about? And we're only up to 900. This is going to take so long. All right, here. I never remember what to do. You can always play c65, but in general, if you're playing black, you need to be a bit more careful. You have to be very humble. You have to normally adopt a more conservative approach to the position, because if you don't play it in a restrained way, you are going to get burned, and you are going to get burned bad. And as a wise man once said, burn, baby, burn. I'm going to play e4 here. E4 is a tricky move. It's always super hit or miss, but I think it's always very interesting. The idea here is that I'm going to win c4 in return. So takes everything. Take on c4. He could trade the bishops if he wants. I think he's going to... His position is going to be replete of several weak light squares, though, and I'm fine with that type of position. Yeah, this is a wild position. I could play knight e5. He's going to play f4, and then I'll drill my knight into d3. Okay, he doesn't, but now... If I'm able to get the light squared bishop, that should be a huge accomplishment, but I got to be careful about it. I got to be tactful about it. If I do it in the wrong way, things could go really badly. Maybe knight d3? Yeah, let's just play knight d3 immediately. Hitting the rook, hitting the pawn. He has a lot of issues here. He actually has to just move his rook back. He moves his rook back. Let me play d5. Completely shut this bishop out. I'm going to play bishop a6 next if he harasses me with b3. I wanted to play bishop a6 a move before, but the problem was bishop a6, he hits me with queen b3 check, and all of a sudden I'm bamboozled on the b7 square. You always gotta bounce off the big bamboozle. You always gotta badger back the big bamboozle. Yeah, this is extremely uncomfortable. These bishops just completely rake the board. I'm always careful to pronounce that word. If I pronounce it incorrectly, I would have said something very different. Very inappropriate. You gotta be careful with your words. Okay, so he pushed his pawn up, but in the end, he's just given my bishop the fantastic square again. I'm gonna play b5 and cement it in. Pieces are really fantastic here. And he can't do anything. He would love to play knight f4 to trade off my knight, but then I'm going to pick up the mango on f1. So I got that going for me. Here we could take on c1. He takes back with the rook. Nothing really happening here. I guess he's playing to play bishop b2 or knight c3. So that's why I like the idea of queen f6. Queen f6, I'm just keeping an eye on everything. I'm threatening to break through on f2. This is looking very uncomfortable. If he plays knight d4, I feel like I should have something immediate there, but maybe I don't. Knight d4, I have several ideas in that position. He could take. Look at that. He could take, and queen d3, but no, then I'll play queen f3, and I'm going to mate him on the light squares. Bishop d2. Can I take on f2? I definitely want to take on f2, but can I take on f2? Takes on f2, he plays knight f4. Oh, this is a wild position. I don't like this knight f4 idea. His bishop is coming to c3 though, so I gotta act quick and I gotta act firm. So what's it gonna be? Okay, if I play knight f2, he plays knight f4. I think there I'll take on f1 and play knight e4. This position is really tricky all of a sudden. How did this happen? How did he do me like this? Okay, I got a really sneaky trick here. Look at this, queen f5. Looking straight at this. I'm hoping for bishop c3. Bishop c3, I have knight f4, which is a beautiful move. Knight f4, this is the big threat. I'm initiating a threat of queen on queen. He's gonna take and I'm gonna be able to scoop up his knight very quickly, scoop up that goodie with a check, king moves, and then I take the queen back, and I got a piece. I got me a piece. All right, he just blundered everything. No need for the brilliance. No need for the brilliance if my man's gonna blunder. All right, 919. 919, we're getting up there. And yeah, as the great Claude once said, it's time to go.
Everyone said, give him time, but there's no time.
It is really time to go. Let's get up to like 940 this video, if possible. Knight f3. f6. People do this all the time. Whenever they play f6, you want to strike on their light square. So now this would be the perfect time for c4. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Be very careful about when you play c4. But if they play f6, then that means their knight is not coming to the square. It means they're going to be very far behind in development. And also means your bishop is going to slice the board in half, like a slice of pizza. b3, just completely undermining these pawns. I need to get them out of the way for my bishop to slice the board. My bishop has a date with Sparrow Pizza, the best authentic New York slice.
But I always like to come to New York a little bit early and hit some of my favorite haunts. Like right here is my favorite New York pizza joint. And I'm gonna go get me a New York slice.
Yeah, that reminds me. I haven't been back in New York in like a year. It feels very strange to be gone for so long. Not necessarily a bad thing though. I'll talk more about New York in a second, but I wanted to mention this briefly. If he plays bishop f7, should I be okay with trading the bishops? Yes or no? What do you guys think? Pause the video if you have to think about it. This is actually a very good positional question. The truth is that he has a huge weakness on e6. Bishops are the best defender of weaknesses. This is a big nugget of wisdom, okay? So really, listen in, guys. Bishops are best defender of weaknesses, so this would be a terrible move because I would just trade the bishops off, and after the bishops get traded, my knights would immediately drill in on that square. So this guy played the grandmaster move, bishop d7, and he is not trading the bishops. The bad news for him is I'm still winning, but suffice it to say, it's a very good move. I'm very impressed, and you know, I'll be sending in my my research to Kramnik for him to just verify that there was no foul play afoot with this move. All right, I want to play c5 badly. I really want to get my bishop to this square. c5, yeah, why not? Come on, let's get the pawns in. Now, even if he plays e6 to crunch on one pawn, I'm still going to be able to play d4, and I have these fantastic pawns here. He needs to play e6 this moment. He needs literally to play it this second. He does that. All right, so on the one hand, I cannot play d4 as I wanted, but he has not done anything to deal with these pawns here. So several things I could do. I could take and play d4. That would be good for me, but even then I'm giving his bishop more room. I want to, if I have to make a choice, I want this bishop to stay hemmed in because then this knight is just completely stuck here. Like, how is he going to get this knight out? He can't even play knight a6 because my bishop's going to take. So I think I just need to hold on to this pawn. As ugly as it looks, I think a move like bishop a3 does the job. I'm going to play bishop c4, snack on this goodie, drop my queen back to b3, and just really set the board on fire pretty much. It's time to go. Okay, that has to be losing on the spot. He is just panicking. He wants to get some space here. He should have tried to crunch on my position at least. Let's play bishop c4 here. now if my queen gets to h5, it's just going to be the end of the game immediately. Queen h5, queen f7 should be the end of the game. All right, where is the mate here? Okay, I got a good, look at this. Look at this, guys. Takes, takes. I throw the check in. He goes here. I could play f6 to sack the pawn and open the file. Then I'm going to castle. And it's going to be time to go. It's really going to be time to go. Once f6 and castles happens, his king is going to be just completely exposed in the middle of the board. And if he does something like king g7, I'll have rook f7, knight takes, queen takes. Then he plays king h6, though. That's actually not mate. Yikes. But okay, I mean, if anything else, I can check king e7. I can check again. He goes king e8, check. King e7. He comes back up. I play f6, king takes. I castle. He plays king g7. I could definitely take on e5 there if I want. Is that the best win? Man, I don't know if that's the best win. Oh, I see now. I have several wins here. This is a really nice combination. Look at this. We got to clear this diagonal first. I ultimately need to get his king out on the skewer. So his king has to go back. I'm going to throw a check in. King comes back up, and then I'm going to beckon him out. I'm going to beckon the butler out with f6. He takes, and finally queen h4 snatches the queen. I'm certain there must be several other wins in this position, but this does look like it's the simplest. It's time to go, buddy. Okay, f6, takes, and finally queen h4, and picking up the queen. Yeah, it's crazy. Castle's queenside, of course, looks fantastic, but I don't see a mate there. King g7, rook f7, knight takes, queen takes, king h6. Looks like he's in a lot of trouble, but there's no mate. Nowhere close to an immediate mate. All right, mate is threatened here. Is he going to see it? Is he going to spot it? Knight f7. Let me get the queen out of the way. I'm still just holding hopes that queen g5 is going to happen with mate. If he keeps his knight on f7, I'm going to castle, try to force the knight out, and get my queen into one of these squares. Man, I miss New York. I don't miss it that much. I would be happy to go back for a couple of weeks. There are aspects of it that I didn't really like. Like pretty much, it's just illegal to be wealthy in New York, pretty much, because what I mean by that is you walk outside. You walk outside with like a pocket full of crisp bills, and before you know it, your pocket is just empty. Like getting on the train costs like $3, $4, something like that. Going to the supermarket costs like $50, I don't know. So you do these normal things that you don't think should add up to so much. Before you know it, literally, like your bank account is down to like single digits, and you've got no money, you got no food, and you're standing outside the Dollar Pizza asking people if they got a quarter. Yeah, I don't miss that part of New York. New York is just so expensive. But all the same, I would love to go to Washington Square Park. I did that for a very short while, a year ago. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of cool people at the park there. A lot of very nice people. All right, how am I going to do this? I gotta just undermine this bishop here. Let's play throw in a check. He cannot take because of the pin. He's gonna play bishop g7, then I'm gonna play queen e7. Threatening several mates here, threatening bishop f7, threatening queen e8. Too many threats for him to deal with. All right, and that looks like it's the game. It's time to go. 9:27. Let's keep it moving. Okay, e3. f5, another Dutch, another day, another Dutch. Queen f3. Queen f, he's going for a checkmate, this rascal. Let's play g6. Play knight f6. I can just steamroll him with like d5, e5, and so forth. The reason why I was hesitant to play d5 here is that if they play d4, then I'm sort of committed to a stone wall. And it's best to avoid that, at least in the early initial moves. He is in so much trouble here. I'm about to play d5 and just take an enormous swath of the center. It's really time to go. He's got to go. Someone let him know. Queen d1, okay, so not really sure what's happened this opening, but we got the 3 golden pawns. We're going to try to make it 4 and maybe even 5. All right, f4, let's play e4. Take more space, digging deep into the position now. A lot of extra space. I have had to commit my pawns onto all light squares though, so I'm surrendering the dark squares a little bit. All the same though, not much of a problem. Everything should be a-okay. I want to play c5. I have no idea what he's doing here. What is that move? That must have been a mouse slip. I'm going to play knight c6 and d4. The problems are only just starting here. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I have to figure out a way to I just need to plan the videos farther in advance, honestly. Like the reason yesterday I posted a video very late in the day, and the reason behind me posting it so late was that there was I had to get a file from my phone, from the recording of my phone, onto my computer, and doing it through like a drive takes so long. It was like a 50 gigabyte file because it was like in high quality, like 4K HD video. And you know, normally that wouldn't mess up my day, but the thing was I had to get that video out that day, so it wasn't like I could just let the computer sit and do something else. It was the video that I had to do that day. So the moral of the story, guys, is that if you come prepared, often you just save a lot of time because you can use downtime doing more effective activities. I hope that was a nice heartwarming story for you. He plays knight b5 here. I play queen a5 check. Okay, and we scooping up the piece. Okay, queen d2. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about practice here. Bishop d4, knight c6. Game is opening up. His king is still in the center, though. I guess he could take here, but the joke's on him. Wait, it takes. My queen is trapped. That is wild. He took there and my queen is trapped. I would have had to play something like queen b4, but that would not have been that much fun. He could take here, but no, now this ain't gonna work. I'll play queen c5 here. Things starting to get very uncomfortable. e5, I have rook d8. e5 also maybe knight e5 takes and bishop takes. Rook d8 I really like though. e5 rook d8, if his queen budges even an inch, I'm gonna invade on c3 or e3. So if e5 I play rook d8, he has to go bishop d3, but the consequence of that would be that he couldn't play bishop c4. All right, I have no idea what he's doing here. Rook e8 would obviously spell catastrophe for him, but better, well, look at this. If I play bishop c3, this guy hits me with bishop c4. Hits me with bishop c4, and I just have to go for an even trade. I do not want an even trade here. I want to win. I want to checkmate. I'm going for the checkmate. King d1. We're going to take on f5. Okay, now bishop c3 works. This bishop is pinned. Can't play bishop c4 anymore. We should get a resignation here. This is really over. It's really time to go. It's time to go, buddy. Yeah, now that I have the undershirt on, there's no issue with the mic. It was just an issue of the undershirt. All right, here, I mean, there must be several wins. Queen e3. I love queen e3. Look at that. Queen e3, 2 pins here. He takes here, I'm gonna mate. I'm actually threatening this mate. What is he gonna do to stop it? How could he possibly stop that mate? Could play king d1, but then I mate here. He plays king f1, I take, and I'm about to mate on e2. Just a disastrous position for him. rating is very, very slowly going up. Yeah, the speedrun is taking forever. It's taking so long. Tomorrow I'm going to record Title Tuesday though, so I'm excited for that. It's going to be a good one, Title Tuesday. Okay, that's mate. That's the end of the game. All right, I think we'll end here, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Today was day number 20. We got up to 935. I will be back for day number 21 tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Take care. I'll see y'all later.